Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, Quest of Destiny. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for being locked in with me. I appreciate you, sending hearts your way. I know my channel has been a little bit all over the place, but I feel like my channel so far is a reflection of what happens in my brain. I have a lot of things going on and a lot of different interests and things that I care about, so that's what my platform is gonna look like. Today I'm here to talk about music really, and how this year has been such a great year for music. It's left me feeling really inspired. Even before Kendrick dropped his project GNX, which I'm gonna talk about in this video, I've just been so inspired by the music that came out this year. What kicked off music for me this year is Megan Thee Stallion dropping his. Without Megan Thee Stallion dropping his, I don't think that a Like That would hit as hard as it did. And about, of course, the Metro Boomin produced track with Future and Kendrick on there. One of the biggest tracks of the year, is nominated for Grammys. And I think that if it wasn't for Megan taking shots at all her foes and her pen do the talking, I don't think that Like That would have as big as an impact. And I don't think that someone has really went after Drake in a very long time. So for a Black woman to talk about Drake having cosmetic surgery and posted up in another man's hood like a bad bitch, like clowning this dude. And it's so sad that the shots taken at Drake was overlooked because of one bar that was possibly meant towards Nicki, but like who cares? It was so many shots directed at Drake and all the rest of her foes too. His really kicked the door down for hip hop in 2024 because Like That was a massive hit. Like That first dropped, the day that it dropped, I had a feeling that this was going to be maybe the start of Drake's downfall because of the energy that Kendrick was putting in Like That. I felt that he's ready to take Drake down. And this man right here, K-Dot, Kendrick Lamar, is a fucking menace, and I'm here for it. I feel like rap is about to get more competitive again because there's a whole lot of dick riding going on. Meg called it out, there's a whole lot of dick riding going on, and Kendrick is here to draw the line in the fucking sand. I feel like Kendrick is the only artist that can really end Drake's career if he wanted to. And what I mean by end is not like actually like stopped him, but the level of popularity that Drake has where he's just like untouchable. I feel like I feel like Kendrick can like just completely pull that off from Drake and really expose Drake for just being like just popular. He's just like the popular guy that everyone likes, but is he that talented? I think that's really up for debate. And if Drake took the bait, it was gonna probably spark a beef. I didn't think it would get as big as it did. Like, who would have ever expected that? But the fact that Drake took the bait and gave the world, or at least hip hop fans like myself, a beef that we can experience in real time. Because a lot of beefs, at least like the big ones, like the No Vaseline with Ice Cube and Pac and Biggie, that was before our time and couldn't really remember it. I remember the Common and Drake beef, but that didn't get too serious. This beef right here between Kendrick and Drake is the beef of really all beefs in history. Hope it stays on wax, but I think that this is gonna be easily top 3 beefs. I think it's the #1 beef because it's currently staying on wax, and Kendrick has peeled back so many layers of this man. Like, we are able to witness a battle, like an actual rap battle in mainstream, and that's not really something that I have experienced before. I just loved all of it. Boy, like just for 2 weeks straight, I barely got any sleep because I was just processing and analyzing Kendrick's bars. I didn't really care for Drake's mid songs that he put out. It was nothing to really analyze, but Kendrick really like had my brain moving. I could not sleep. So I was super hyper fixated on that. I got goosebumps listening to Like That for the first time. Kendrick, I just respect that man's pen. I respect his integrity and his love for the essence of what hip hop is and what it means to the culture, and how it came from a struggle, it came from poverty, it came from being discriminated against, and being able to speak your truth on a beat that makes you feel something and create art and work with your friends. That's such a beautiful thing, and that's the essence of hip hop. And I feel like Kendrick has brought that back. I'm so appreciative that it's Kendrick to do it, because Kendrick is a menace. If anyone is going to do it, it's got to be Kendrick, because to go for bat for things that he's super passionate about, I respect that. And I feel like that is needed, especially in hip hop right now. Someone that's willing to draw the line in the sand, hold other rappers accountable too. This is an art, and he's bringing back the lost art. Once I realized that Kendrick dropped this record, I immediately went to Spotify and I turned on the record, and the first song is Whacked Out Murals. And boy, I couldn't keep going on the album because it was just so much to unpack with that first one. I'm really happy that Kendrick dropped a surprise album. I wasn't expecting a surprise album this soon. I thought maybe it'll drop at the beginning of next year, closer to the Super Bowl. But from what I'm hearing so far on GNX, it seems like this is giving more of a mixtape vibe. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love the mixtape vibe because he was having just a lot of fun on these records. And I saw that he has on GNX, he has his cousin Jay Hitta 3 or Hitta J3 on there. I really like GNX. That's probably one of my favorite songs. GNX is really hard. I really appreciate the California sounds that I heard on there, from the Bay Area with the hyphy sound all the way to the 90s LA sound, California Love, Tupac, that whole era. I just love how he encapsulated the West Coast in this GNX record. To me, it sounds pretty damn flawless. That was after my first listen. Now, granted, I had to take a break after listening to Whacked Out Murals because it was so much to unpack. And that's what I love about Kendrick. His music really makes you think, and I know that he's gonna have a lot to say, especially being quiet for 6 months now. And he hasn't been online clapping back at nobody. He's just been in the studio working, creating, bettering himself and focus, and I appreciate that. Oh, I definitely want to talk about the SZA features. SZA was on 2 tracks on this album, Luther and Gloria, the very last song. And man, I just want to say thank you, Kendrick, for bringing back the old SZA that I really fell in love with and adore. Artists have the right to have range and explore different types of music, but what was her latest album that she dropped? It's not Control, obviously. I love Control. Oh, SOS. SZA's album SOS just really wasn't for me because it just didn't feel like SZA at all. It felt like SZA was trying to conform and blend into what was mainstream at the time, and that was the Summer Walker, Down Bad for a Man, Pick Me type music. And I'm just like, what is this? Now, not to get me wrong, SZA do have some pick me music in her earlier music on the Control album, but it was not like an SOS. It was just, I could not connect with SOS at all. It wasn't for me. But on this album, it just felt so spiritual. Like, it felt like SZA, the old SZA that I grew to love. She's singing from her soul and her spirit and not trying to conform and be something else. So I really appreciate hearing SZA's voice on Luther. It's the best that I've heard her sound on the record. And I think that SZA needs to stick with working with Kendrick and leave Drake alone, because that record, For All My Dogs, that Drake last record that she was on, I'm sorry, I was really starting to side-eye SZA for... Now, granted, she probably didn't hear Drake's verse, but Drake saying, whip and chain you like American slave. When I heard that, I'm like, SZA, are you really okay with working with a guy who would say something like that as a Black American woman? Like, you are okay with that? So I'm just going to give her the benefit of the doubt that she didn't hear that and that she gave him her verse and that he put that shit on after. The last thing that I want to touch on really is TV Off. That is my favorite song on the album. My God. Like, when I listen to this album, I'm trying to think about what songs I could hear Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl, which I do not care for the Super Bowl, and I will not be watching, but I will be tuned in on YouTube as soon as the halftime performance is dropped, because I want to see what Kendrick performs. And I really hope that he performs TV Off with the HBCU band. Like, he got to do it for the culture, because the part where I guess Mustard Beat drops and he goes, Mustard! Oh my God. How can you not break your neck when Kendrick yells mustard? I have to see a black marching band marching with their high knees. They got the band instructor with their little baton flipping it in the air, you know, straight backs. And I want to hear the horns, the trumpets just blasting when TV Off comes on. I want to see fire and flames come up. Like, I know for a fact he's going to be performing TV Off, because that's really a FU to all his haters who has something to say about Kendrick performing at the Super Bowl. He deserves it. That's pretty much what, at least for me, GNX, what it sounds like to me is him proving why he's the best. And at this point, or at least on this album, he just had a lot of fun and wanted to remind people where he's from, LA. I feel like he's giving the youth a blueprint on how you should go about entering into the rap game. Doing it for the heart, doing it for the love, like it's a sport. And I feel like the mode that Kendrick is in right now is giving Kobe. It's really giving Kobe's Mamba mentality. You can always be better. You can always push yourself, even when they're saying you the greatest. Now it's your time to really show them why you are the greatest. And it's not to prove to anyone that you are, but to yourself. It's to be better than who you were last year, yesterday. And I appreciate that work ethic from artists. I feel like I'm hearing more truth and authenticity. All right, so as I'm recording this, I just happened to be on YouTube, and I see that Kendrick has released a video for Squabbled Up. Like, this man, does he even sleep?
No. 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 Nigga. No.
Damn. So I'm about to watch this video.
I am reincarnated. I'm a stargazer. Life goes on, honey, all my babies. Woke up looking for the broccoli. Keep
the horn on me like my sins.
the blueprint is by me.
Mr. Get off, I get off at my seat. Hey. Kendrick looks so healthy. He looks so youthful and vigorous. Like, he's been sleeping, but like working at the same time. Ooh, I love the African American flag. Let's go. Hey. Hey, got the Latinos. Oh my God. So, all right, I just watched the Squabble Up video. Man, Kendrick, to me, I think for me personally, he has solidified himself as the greatest rapper of all time, to me. And it's not even up for debate or discussion anymore. For so long, Andre 3000 held that spot, but the way that Kendrick has pushed the envelope and spoken up for hip hop and willing to go to war for it, that passion, we needed a cleanse in hip hop so bad, and just getting the bad energy out so we can cook in peace. Like, who wants to cook in a dirty kitchen? Nobody wants to cook in a dirty kitchen. So I feel like Kendrick did a lot of cleaning up this 2024, and I think we're gonna be getting a lot more better music from rappers. He's raised the standard to like step it up, get in the booth and write your bars, write your own raps. This is not acting. This is not Hollywood. This is people's real lives. And I think that Drake is learning that, yeah, you can't come over here with that anymore, because the line in the sand has been drawn. These kids are waking up now because Kendrick has laid it out so perfectly. It seems like the state of music is healing, and that authenticity is at the forefront of music, and vulnerability and speaking your truth and not living in fear. I really love what I'm witnessing. just a lot of R&B artists and a lot of queer artists too, with the music I've been listening to lately from Orion Sun.
No shade, what you gonna see? How you gonna throw dirt on my name, G?
Sasha Keeble.
You're the best I ever had, girl. Got me waiting by my phone until I see your text. Every day it seems to happen less and less.
Destin Conrad and Alex Isley.
Mistake. Nighttime makes promises I can't keep.
So many great artists. Billie Eilish.
I could eat that girl for lunch.
Her coming out and singing about loving a woman. Listening to a little bit of Chappell Roan too. I like what she stands for more so. I can't really get into the 80s pop feminine nomenon. Yeah, feminine nomenon, that's a cut. So I'm excited to see good music be mainstream again, instead of like a bunch of TikTok sounds and trying to get the most popular thing that will resonate with the masses. Just do what's real and speak from your heart, and whoever feels it and connects with it, do, and whoever don't, that's okay. That's the beauty of art. That's it for this video. Thank y'all so much. If this is your first time clicking on one of my videos, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here to just discuss random things that's happening in the world, going on in my life. This is just me on my quest, unblocking my throat chakra, speaking my truth, and creating here on this platform. So I thank you guys for being here with me, and I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.